What is going on, you guys? It is your boy Disconfused, and today is the last day of 72 hours with the wing. I've tried to record this video twice now. If you guys are wondering why there's different battle songs in here, because this is the next battle song I have to do the 72 hours with and do the video over, and then this is the next one I have to do. Anyways, guys, so what I wanted to bring to you today was talking about my 72 hours with the wing. And let's see if we can't knock out a trick right quick. Been getting better, you know? Ooh, that was way too much of a spin, Jesus. All right, let's go back to that spin and try that again. Is it supposed to? There we go. All right, I hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing well. If you are, leave me a comment. It'd be great. So I want to talk about my stuff with the wing. So the reason why I chose to do the 72 hours is because I wanted to formulate a real opinion and come off that high of just having a new ballad song. And I really wanted to give like an honest opinion about it. And I did buy these. No one is sponsoring me. No one is sending me things for free. This is my own personal opinion. Other than that, let's get right into it. Let's talk about some of my initial impressions. When I first opened this thing, I thought it was the most beautiful ballad song I've ever laid my eyes on. I have a few more that I got that are like that over exceed this to an incredible amount. But regardless, this is probably the best looking nabalis ballad song you can get at the moment, unless they drop something new. The handles are 7075 aluminum. They are channel construction. The blade is 440C heat treated stainless steel. I do have a bite indicator on here that nabalis sent me with the wing box. After 72 hours of use, it has minimal play. It has a tiny bit of play. I don't know if you can hear that. I can feel it in my hand more than I can hear it. But that's after being dropped on concrete. As you can see, it got tipped because, again, I dropped it on concrete. But other than that, the cosmetic damages aren't a lot. There's a few imperfections inside the actual grooves themselves, but I don't know if I just didn't notice that the first time I looked at it. The feel in the hand it's a little slippery when you're going with the grooves, right? But when you're going against the grooves, it's really grippy. So on some tricks, like anything that involves like a throw out like this, it can become really slippery and just almost come out of your hand if you don't have a firm grip on it. And with a flow, or when you're doing a ballad song flow, you don't really want the firmest grip on it because you want the ballad song to just flow throughout your hand, right? The best thing I can really compare it to feel-wise, it's its own unique thing, but the closest thing I can get to feel-wise is probably, I don't know, because without this milling, it would kind of feel heavier, like a Hydra, or not a, yeah, like a Hydra, but it has these grooves, so it just gives it that own unique kind of feeling for it. It is a heavier ballad song, so during like extended flipping, it can get pretty tiring, or your wrist can get sore, your arm can get sore, or that's just because I'm brand new at the hobby. Like, I'm not even to my second month in yet, and yeah, I have quite a bit of ballad songs for not being in it for 2 months yet. To be fair, I bought my first ballad song when I was 13. Well, my mom bought me my first ballad song when I was 13. I flipped it for a tiny bit, learned the basic opening, and then I learned a like modified twirl, which went like this, and that was it. That was all I cared to learn at the time, and the ballad song's like this big. It's in that case right there, actually. But that's not about that. The weight distribution, so it is a little bit handle bias, as you can see here. Because if it's neutral, the balance would be right after the pivots, which would be there, but as you can see, it falls towards the handles, so it is handle bias, a slight margin. I didn't really have to make any adjustments or adaptations to, be able to flip this. Like, I got it out of the box and I was able to flip it kind of consistently. Besides the slippery grip, that's really the only thing I had to deal with, which was that grip, but I don't think it really affects it to the point where I wouldn't want this anymore. Does that make sense? It is one of my better looking ballys from nabalis. It's the best looking bally I have from nabalis. I love my Volp and I love my Volp Pro, don't get me wrong. But aesthetic wise, the Volp's The Volp Pro is its performance with tricks, they're phenomenal. Like, I don't really see too big of an issue with the slidey grip. Like that was an issue there, me trying to flip it over. My thumb slipped on it a few times just because it was going with the groove, trying to flip it over for this reverse chaplain. Like I said, other than the slippery grips, I haven't really had an issue with it. It chaplains fine, it fans fine. Like, it's a little wobbly, yeah. Fans just fine. So the only really durability that it has, like I said, it has a tiny little bit of play in the left, or in the safe handle, I guess, because if you flip it this way, it's the right handle, so I can't call it left or right. And is just the tipping when I drop down the concrete. But you know, that kind of happens when you drop steel on concrete. A movable object versus a movable object, something's gonna eventually move. So, other than that, for the last, because I've had this thing for almost a month now, and for the last 72 hours, this is all I flipped. And for how much I dropped it, it's done pretty phenomenal. Like, I don't have a lot to complain about. I really do enjoy the milling in the back, this like depression right here that they milled out. And I love the jimping on it. The jimping is probably my favorite that nabalis has done on a blade. I'm trying to do the short stop, sorry. There we go. Kind of mediocre. My personal experience with it, I mean, it's what all I've really talked about. Would I say it's worth the cost? Absolutely. I mean, it's 119 bucks. I think it's 130 with the false edge. Would I say this is a beginner balisong? I want to say yes, but at the same time, I want to say no. Like, it feels very nice in the hand, right? For a beginner, I mean, maybe not just because the slipperiness of it, but at the same time, it would also get you used to a heavier weight balisong. So it helped me figure out what I preferred, you know, because I figured out I really like the LDY Vixen. It's probably my favorite balisong in my collection. I did have to retighten the bushings down a little bit, so you just unscrew it until it's loose, and then you squeeze these handles together, and then you push in and screw down at the same time. And if it binds, it's too tight. And to check the binding, you just swing it a little bit forward, and if the handle moves back and forth like that, it's good. Or if you drop it and the handle's like stuck right here, that's binding. But see how it's free swinging right now? And move it a little bit forward, swings back and forth just fine. I had a little bit of binding issue with this handle, so I had to loosen it. And all you do is you loosen it literally a hair, like literally a hair. And you just keep loosening it a hair until it no longer binds, and hopefully there's no longer tap in it. But I think I've dropped it to the point where I've either untuned the bearings or it just has play from wear and tear. There wasn't really any challenges or anything it really excelled at for me, but I'm also so new that I can't really make an assumption like that, or not an assumption, but like make an opinion like that, because one, I don't know enough tricks to really say it performs better at something than something else. Every balisong obviously has a different feel. Other than that, I don't think I really have that much to say about it. But while that's connecting, you can see me do some cool tricks. Gosh dang, why do I always mess up on that finger roll? It's not that hard. Right there, boom, boom. And then a little behind the 8 ball to helix combo. Oh, way too short on that. Yep. Try that again. Behind the 8 ball to helix combo. There we go. Let's just do a normal behind the 8 ball now. And yeah, you can see I've caught myself a few times with the live blades. That one's probably the worst because it just keeps opening up because it's right on the web. And then I stab myself right there. That was with the Crackerakin, the Orion, and then the Vixen. We can do some little simple aerials too. That's all I really know is for aerial wise, it's just the simple ones. But I make it look clean, you know. And then it fans. I mean, it fans. It does do the fan. Again, I really like the handle bias on it just because it's easier to fan for me compared to like something like the Hydra or the Marbles. Marbles is actually pretty difficult for me to fan. And that is actually the one problem I have with it is the one reason why I like it fanning so much is the slippery grip, because it just rolls right off your fingers when you're wrist fanning. Now when you're thumb fanning, like so, it's a little different. And yeah, guys, I think that is about gonna do it for the nabalis wing. My thoughts over the nabalis wing for the last 72 hours. I appreciate you guys watching the video, and if you guys would drop a sub, it helps me out. It's free. I would highly appreciate it. And if you would comment how you like my content, just to kind of make sure I'm putting out the right content for you guys, and my content isn't pointless, and there is some people watching it and enjoying it. As long as I have some of you guys saying like, hey, that was cool, I'd really appreciate it. It just mean a lot to me. And other than that, guys, I hope you guys have a phenomenal, wonderful day, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.